he's gonna find it.
I don't hear anything, guys. Do I have your attention? Stay tuned.
It's just been hiding. Yeah, you know he'll comb the beach and he'll unearth metal. Calabash digger will find something special. He'll dig, he'll dive to find that treasure. Welcome to Calabash Digger Adventures.
Alright, guys, so I seen a video by Merrill from XP, and it's on a gold chain. And as you guys that follow me know, I've already taken the Manticore M8 and the Deus 2 HF2 coil to the beach and tested it on a balled up gold chain. Today we're not at the beach, we're removing the wet sand, but we're using beach programs on both detectors. We're using beach low conductor on the Manticore. Why? Because it is the most sensitive to small gold on this machine. Let me show you the settings. And we're going to look at the sensitivities. What the goal is here, we're going to make machines equally stable in this environment, this particular environment, which can change as you walk down the beach. You got different Wi-Fi signals, but in this environment, they're going to be set, sensitivities are going to be set where both machines are stable. 20 sensitivity, beach low conductors, noise cancel, ground balance, recovery speed set at 4, it's what I use on the beach. Discrimination patterns all metal. 8 and 5, that is exactly what I use on the beach. This is basically my Manticore beach program. Depth audio, and the minimum, the profile is medium, minimum pitch 21, and max pitch 56. That is pretty much my beach setup for the Manticore. Now, let me guys just point you down here. We got this small gold chain here. And one of the things that a detector, all of them will hit the clasp that are sensitive, like the Manticore, the Equinox, the Deus 2, WS6 Master. We can show that. Even the clasp is hard to hit on this chain because it's so small, but we see clearly that the Manticore is hitting it, calling it 2, 3, and 4. Now, the real test is when we stretch this Manticore out over this part of the chain. So check this out. Look at the coil height, probably a 1/2 inch. Pretty much nothing. You hear a couple of blips from EMI, but we don't hear any clear. Let's go way down, a 1/4 inch. We get a little bit of blip and a little bit of iron, 1 inch, nothing. And we'll use this little, just yardstick here as a measuring rod to keep the coil height above that stick. So when I test the Deus 2, look at the coil height. Nothing really per se to talk about. Now, let's pull out the Deus 2. This is running a beta version that is not available to the public yet, so let me be transparent about that. Talk about its program that I got set up, and I've called this my chain program. This program is built off of beach sensitive, and I have tested this, used these settings, and shown plenty of videos with this detector, even with the HF2 coil set up like this since it was released. Now, the HF2 coil is very sensitive in 88 kilohertz. And see right here how that mics affect this coil. This is something to be mindful of too when you are filming the Deus 2. DJI mics can affect the coil. See, I may even have to hold them way out here to get them to pair, and that is a problem. Let's see if it does it. Does it pair? Yeah, see, it paired. So just keep that in mind, that this signal affects that transmission signal. So we've got to be mindful. We'll noise cancel it real quick. Be mindful not to distort the Deus 2 with the DJI mics. The insulated wire on the Manticore, it doesn't seem to affect it. I've tested the Equinox and other wire detectors, and it doesn't seem to affect. It's that signal going between the coil back and forth wirelessly. But we're discrimination 6.4, what I use on the beach, silencer 0, sensitivity 95, salt sensitivity 9. We're going to lower that to 8. Frequency max 89, iron volume 7, reactivity 1.5, audio response 5, threshold off, pitch tones 500 hertz, and that's what we run. No bottle caps, no notch. Now, will the Deus 2 hit the clasp? And let me enlarge the ID so you can see it. But you can already see a drastic difference right here on the report off the clasp, right? Look at the coil height. And one thing to note about this machine is look at the stability. Listen to it. So you would say that stability-wise, or being stable, both machines are set up in a similar fashion. But look at the sensitivity level, 95. So the HF2 coil is going to give you an advantage in this alone, that it has the best EMI handling capabilities on the market today that I have ever seen. So in situations, you guys can see, I'm going to point you over there. I got air conditioning units right over there. This coil is running stable. Popped a little bit then. But there is EMI here, and this coil is handling it, and it is matching the Manticore better. It's even more stable than the Manticore, right? Well, okay. That point being, let's go back and look at the chain. Clearly beats the Manticore on the class, set up in a stable fashion. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, it doesn't matter in the beach programs if you can bring the sensitivity up. It's still beating it. Let's look at the middle of the chain. You got 3 inches. Look at coil height. Okay, you'll say, well, Calabash, that's not on the beach. Okay, well, here's my answer to that. If one won't hit it in the air, it's sure not going to hit it in the wet salt sand. It's not going to get any better on the beach. We see that the Deus 2 in the beach programs with a higher frequency has a clear-cut advantage on that chain. And guys, I have tested it in a balled-up fashion on the beach. Got video up. You can go back and look at that, and it had a clear advantage even in the wet salt sand. We need to take it back. We need to stretch this chain out on the beach and check it in the wet salt sand and see how much of an advantage it has in that environment too. And when I get time, maybe in the next few weeks, I'll run back to the beach and I'll show you guys that. But that's the Deus 2 HF2 coil versus the Minelab Manticore.